Bodine Pot is brought to you exclusively by Showman E-Bistro, the Bahamian meal kit. You can buy online 3 ways with cash, credit or debit, or Canoe, and each meal kit feeds a family of 4, 7 meals per person a week. Make all of your Bahamian favorites with their meal kits, which include everything you need to take you all around the world. Plus, Showman E-Bistro has partnered with Hands for Hunger to deliver meal kits to those in need, and they also ship to the Family Islands. Just order your meal kit on showmanebistro.com today. Hello everyone, I'm Bodine Victoria. Welcome to my kitchen, and this is my pot, or at least one of them. I am so happy because you've been engaging with me over the past few weeks, and I've noticed that sometimes I would post food to my Instagram stories as well as my Facebook feed, and you will ask me, well, is the recipe for that up on the channel? Well, you have asked for things like, well, Bodine, how do you fry fish? Okay, no problem, I got you. How do you make peas and grits? I got you. Peas and rice? I got you. Well, you know, how do you make basic chicken sauce? I got you. Mr. I'm going to say Miss Johnson. Miss Johnson, can you make some stew corn? Sure, no problem. So this is the first in a series of shows here on Bodine Pot, where I show you how to make Bahamian basics. In the Bahamian Basics series, I'm going to show you how to make one of our favorites, and that is peas and grits. There are many ways that you can make it, and I think a lot of people shy away from it because they think that it is harder than it actually is. Now, I won't be soaking and boiling my own peas, but I'll be showing you a shortcut for when you want this Bahamian traditional staple and you want it semi-quickly because, you know, sometimes you just want what you want. So we're going to start by preparing our aromatics. We're going to add our salt beef, salt pork, and of course some dried conch because I'm an old-fashioned girl. And we're going to get our grits on the go. Let's get started. We're going to add about a tablespoon of oil, or a tablespoon and a half of oil. To this, we're going to add some minced salt beef. This salt beef came in our Showman E-Bistro kit, the Bahamian meal kit for this week. We're allowing this to fry out until they are very, very brown, and that's just to loosen up the salt that's currently in the pot. And now that that's done, we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of onions, a 1/4 cup of celery, and the same amount of diced sweet pepper. You can use the red or the yellow ones, which should give you a much nicer flavor. And we are going to let these sweat for about 5 minutes until they are translucent and starting to turn brown. And that's where the sweetness is going to come from. Okay guys, now if you take a look, you're going to see that around the edges of some of our onions are starting to turn brown, like the aromatics are starting to do the do. So this is exactly what we want. And now it's time to add a little bit of tomato paste. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. I took the container, which was really big, that Showman E-Bistro gave us, and I put it in the freezer, and I'm just reusing a container from a fast food place because I don't want all of that tomato paste just sitting inside the refrigerator. It has to be fried out so that our food is not bitter. Now that our tomato paste is cooked out, we're going to add about 1/2 cup of ripe tomatoes. Yes, that's what we want. Gonna throw in our bay leaf. And we have 1/2 cup of dried conch. You can add more, but for the amount that I am cooking, this is all that I'm going to be using, okay? And dried conch really is a Bahamian delicacy. You have to know where to go to get it because we can't really find it that often in some of the places that we traditionally find it. So if you're on the family islands, good for you because you have this right at your doorstep. Throw that in there. Showman E-Bistro gave us some minced garlic, which happens to be one of my favorite weekly items in the meal kit. So we're going to add about half a tablespoon of that to our pot. And they gave us a full can of coconut milk. We're going to add half of this. So about 1 cup of this coconut milk is going into the pot as well. Now we're going to add the pigeon peas and we're going to bring this to a boil. So we're going to turn the stove up. So a full can of pigeon peas because I feel as though if I'm making peas and grits, there should be peas inside the grits. Now that our base is coming to a boil, look at it. It is going to be so delicious. We are going to, ooh, it smells so good. I want to eat this just as it is. We're going to add some thyme. This isn't exactly fresh thyme, but it isn't exactly dry thyme, so I can add it here. Now, Showman gave us some yellow grits. I normally put my grits in containers like these. And so I know some people would cook with the white grits, but today I'm going to use the yellow grits. Listen to me. You do not need to put more than 1.5 cups of grits in here because we want our grits to be soft. So no more than 1.5 cups. Unless, of course, you want your grits to be hard. I know my dad tends to prefer it hard, but for the texture I'm going for today, we need it to be nice and soft. Want to give it a stir. Now, if you notice, the grits is starting to plop. That's what we want because we know that it is now ready for us to reduce the heat. With grits, you have to remember to reduce the heat. Please reduce the heat because the grits should not be flying up in your face. And this is the texture of it now. So when we see it again, in a few minutes, we're going to have a nice, fluffy, but still very soft and firm grits that you can be proud of. I'm actually just going to test it right now to see if I need to add any more salt, but I doubt it. Nope, needs no more salt. We had salt from the coconut milk, salt from the salt pork, salt from the salt beef. We had the dry conch, which has salt already. And look, even with turning the stove down, we can see that the texture of the grits is starting to change. So when we see this again, it's going to be time to serve it. All right, everyone, this is what our peas and grits looks like. Look at it. And I want y'all to see my pot ain't burn up at the bottom. So it has some texture. Yes, yes, yes. And we definitely know that it has some flavor, okay? And that's what we want. So let's get this delicious peas and grits onto somebody's plate. I hope that you enjoyed the peas and grits recipe. It was my pleasure bringing it to you, and it was made so easy because the majority, as a matter of fact, 98% of the ingredients that I used in today's recipe have been courtesy of Showman E-Bistro, who gave us the Bahamian box this week. And of course, Bodine and the Bahamas go together. Don't forget, I'm going to be taking over the Showman E-Bistro Instagram feed this week, Tuesday evening. So I want you to stay tuned to see what I create there. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know which recipes you'd like for me to make in this Bahamian Basics series. And if you really enjoy it, give me a thumbs up. That means to like the video. I'd also like for you to subscribe to this channel and share my video with your friends and family, because the watch time and the participation means a whole lot to me. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, don't let any and everybody dig up in your pot.